When I reached 15 years old, Dad and I had a fallout. He was a tough guy to have as a father. He was a very disciplinarian, and he had a belt hanging on the doorway just to get the point across that he's the boss and he's in charge. And I felt I was roughed up, and I didn't have it coming, and I decided to leave the house. And when I did, I went straight to the Greyhound bus station. I says, "Where's your next bus going to?" Let's see, in 30 minutes I've got one going to LA. And so I was mad. I wanted to get as far away as I could from El Paso. And then in the morning when I woke up, I said, now I've got to go find some work. Within 24 hours, I had a job. I had a place to stay. Now I was ready to go to work. In retrospect, these were all blessings from God, and I was determined to make it all work, to see to it that I am able to take care of my obligations. Every week when I was getting paid, I made sure Mom received the greater portion of what I earned. Because Dad, he was so busy with his new cars that poor Mom suffered tremendously, trying to feed the family and everything. And that's one thing we all did as sons and daughters. We made sure that Mom was taken care of. 6 months went by, and then I heard from my sister. It was about 6 months. Mom was expecting my youngest brother, and when she had Robert, they warned the family that she may pass. She may not be able to survive. 2.5, 3 weeks later, after I was down there that long, Mother's recovered, or started recovering, and started feeling much better. And everything actually turned out pretty good for her. So I could leave. And as I was leaving, Dad approached me. And for the first time ever that I remember, with tears in his eyes, he says, "Please don't leave." He says, "Don't go. I promise you I will never bother you again. Don't leave." Thought about it and prayed about it. And I says, "All right, I'll stay." Something told me, just go find you another job. And the first place I went to was, of all places, Luby's Cafeteria. What do I know about cafeteria work? Luby's Cafeteria. And they made me a butcher. So I became a butcher. and so, who do I meet there? A week after I started working there. I met my dear wife. And there's no way I could have met her in California. She was at Louis cafeteria, and she started a week later after I started. And the minute we saw each other, we knew that there's something there. So, when we decided to get married, I had asked her just out of the blue, while we were at a drive-in of theater of all places, so how many children do you want? And without hesitation, she said she wanted 10. And which should have been enough for me to run, for my life, but I just I never asked her why she wanted that many, except for that I just said something like, "Oh, you want that many, huh?" She says, "Yeah." She says, "I like large families," and she came from 7, and she knew I had 10 brothers and sisters, and so on. And that's where it was left. And then shortly after we got married, and we were expecting her first child, and it was like I knew what I was up against. I never challenged her on that statement, or even made any comment, because I was speechless about, what are you talking about? When somebody tells you that's what they want, And so, but I did think long term, as far as wealth, that means I've got to make sure I work hard and we prepare for that event. I looked at it as a positive event, and not negative, because I loved her and I knew she was the one, and the rest is history.